on. On 7 News tonight, terror in Sydney. City streets still in lockdown.
Tonight, terrorists strike on Australian soil. A Muslim fanatic takes up to 30 people hostage in a Sydney chocolate shop.
We were put on lockdown, we couldn't go out.
Snipers and anti-terror police shut down the CBD. 5 hostages managed to flee, but many others remain held at gunpoint. The Prime Minister says the nation's prayers are with those inside.
I can think of almost nothing more distressing. Our hearts go out to those people.
And in Melbourne, police shut down Lindt stores and increased patrols in the city over fears of more attacks.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7 News with Jennifer Kite.
Good evening. The hostage crisis in the heart of Sydney has entered its 8th hour. At least 13 people and possibly up to 30 are being held inside a cafe in Martin Place by a suspected Muslim terrorist. These are live pictures now of the scene where the man armed with a gun and wearing a suspicious backpack stormed inside just before 10 o'clock this morning. We'll have live and extended coverage from 7's team of reporters in Sydney, Melbourne and overseas. But we start with Chris Reason in Martin Place.
After a terrifying 8-hour ordeal being held at gunpoint by an armed extremist, 2 female Lindt Cafe employees run to freedom, throwing themselves into the waiting arms of police. 90 minutes earlier, 2 men, believed to be customers, emerged from a side door of the store, making their own desperate dash to safety. A 3rd employee also got free and fell over in his haste to flee his captor.
The first thing that we will do is make sure that they are okay, and then we will work with these people to find out some more information.
The siege began about 9:40 a.m. when from behind a glass door a lone figure emerged wearing a black bandana across his forehead and a gun over his left shoulder, pacing the store he'd just laid siege to. He took hold of one woman, appearing to use her as a human shield as he walked to the window. Just metres away, with their heads bowed and their arms raised in fear and compliance, 2 of more than a dozen hostages were forced to raise the black Sunni extremist flag of their terrorist captors. It's understood the slogans on the flag translate to "There is no God but Allah" and "Muhammad is the messenger of God," and are commonly used by Syrian extremist group Jabhat al-Nusra, which has links to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Other hostages stood helpless at the front window of the Lindt chocolate store in Martin Place, their hands pressed against the glass or clutching the window